Welcome to the Biohack Method. I am Lindsay Burwell. I break down the science, cut the fluff, and give you real tools to optimize your body with peptides, transdermal patches, and root cause biohacking that actually works. Welcome back to the Biohack Method podcast. I'm so pumped today to have my friend Aaliyah from Tinted Salt. I met her through a friend, and when I learned about Tinted Salt, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a game changer because in my business, working with women, doing the metabolic scan and really looking at like root cause, what were things causing inflammation and stagnation in people's cells? I still see time and time again, nervous system, cortisol, emotions, anxiety. And, women come to me and they're like, my metabolism doesn't work. I feel so inflamed. I'm eating healthy. Like, look at my perfect diet. Look at every single thing I'm eating. And I work out every single day and I'm taking every supplement known in the world. And why do I feel stuck? Why do I feel stuck? And it's so important to know that, like, we are more than just our bodies, right? Like, we're more than just this hard shelled body that is about what you eat and how you move your body. Like, we are very energetic and spiritual beings. And sometimes that missing component to biohacking, to fixing your metabolism, to resetting your body and feeling in alignment of like who you were meant to become is at that cellular level that has everything to do with energy work and nervous system regulation and like sometimes like recalibrating that. And what I noticed is that a lot of people don't know A, what that means, or B, how to do that. What are modalities like lifestyle wise, all the things that we're going to talk about. Like, what are those things and how can they do it? How can they implement in their life or where can they go and find place? So when I heard about Tinted Salt, I right away, and you probably noticed because you met me, and she's like, oh, she's like excited and she's been in it to win it. And the reason why is because truly, when I see the need, I see how important it is. It's like people buy gym memberships, but we're not investing in that nervous system regulation, that cellular reset. And even just for my own journey, I was missing this piece for so long. I was going hard at the gym and doing all the things, and I had so much anxiety and I felt so inflamed, and I wasn't allowing for that part of the puzzle of slowing down to do that very essential work, because slowing down felt scary to me. Slowing down felt like I was doing something wrong.
Exactly.
And so that's why I'm so pumped to hang out with you because your energy is incredible, and also just like let's dig into this and like share and help people know again, like, hey, what does it mean when you need to reset your nervous system? What does it mean to do energy work? Why is it important? And like, what can we do? Right. So I want you to share a little about you.
Okay.
And like how you got into this business, how you got into this work, and what it's done for you.
Okay. So, my background is aesthetics. So I was an esthetician for a little over probably 20 years now.
Yeah.
And the last 10 years of that, I did a lot of holistic aesthetics where I tried to dive a little bit further into than just the surface of the skin. You know, as an esthetician, people come to you and they want to look good right away. And it's not that easy because a lot of it is gut related. A lot of it is internal. A lot of it is those energy blockages that are in your body. Yeah. So I started I was like one of the, I like to think of myself as one of the pioneers of doing holistic facials. So I would do facials and then I would infuse that with Reiki treatments and then tuning forks.
Okay, and I'm dying to know, like, tell us about Reiki, because I don't think a lot of people know, like, what is Reiki?
So Reiki is an energy work. So basically, it is so hard to explain it because it's so complex as well. You tap into an energy field of the universe for that, right? So there are these mantras that you say out loud to tap into those energy fields. And as a practitioner, I call upon that energy field to help the client get to the place they want to be. So basically, I'm just the messenger in between, right? So I don't do anything. I don't do any voodoo. I don't do any magic. I don't pull on energies or anything like that. I'm just there to guide the person to the energy fields of the universe. Basically, that's what my understanding of what Reiki is. So having gone through all of that with like aesthetics, it was great, and I was seeing great results. And then I got sick. And then I went to Great Wolf Lodge and I got hit with a virus. And instead of that virus attacking my stomach or my lungs, it attacked my thyroid. So I got misdiagnosed 4 times, almost died.
I need to hear about this
Okay.
because I almost died.
Oh,
Yes. And so when I was learning about that for you, that you almost died, actually, my husband was just here and I was like, oh my gosh, she almost just died. I almost just died. I gotta talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened?
So I got sick, and the virus started mimicking a strep throat. Right. So I went to the doctors, and he just looked at my throat and he's like, "You have strep, so you wrote me a prescription." And um, and usually within like 24 hours of taking any sort of antibiotics, you start to feel better,
Yeah.
right? Well, I wasn't feeling better. So I went back, and he was in there. I saw somebody else, and she's like, I don't know why they even bother putting you on this. This is viral. You just need to go home and rest. And I was like, okay, so maybe it is viral. So stop taking the medication. So stop taking the medication. I go home and I rest, and it's another probably 3 or 4 days, and my symptoms are getting progressively worse to the point where I'm no longer able to stand up on my own. My muscles are giving out from underneath, if that makes any sense. Like my legs were just not able to hold me up. So we get rushed to the hospital. Actually,
It's so scary.
actually, and I went to see my Chinese medicine doctor in the midst of that because I didn't really trust the Western medicine, and she's always been one of those people that just got me through everything. So I went to see her, and she said, I'm going to give you something. If this doesn't help you within 24 hours, tomorrow you need to go to the hospital. So she gives me the medicine. It's all herbal stuff, and you just drink, and it tastes like tar actually. So it was really gross.
I feel like all Chinese medicine does, by the way. Like all the tinctures I've ever had in my life, I'm like, this is so
nasty.
intense. I need a chaser. Like, and like the more intense, the better,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Right? So, anyways, so the next day I'm in bed and I cannot move. I cannot move out of bed. She calls me and I can't answer the phone. So I text message Steve, who was downstairs, and we lived in a 2-story house. So he comes up and I said, you need to call Cindy for me. So he calls her and she says, what is going on? And he says, well, she's not doing so great. And she says, you need to go to the hospital right now. I'm telling you, these girls. So we went to the hospital, and at that point, I was not able to stand up. So that's where Steve is like helping me.
He's
put
like,
my
something
pants
is
on.
wrong.
Something is wrong. So we go to the hospital. We get there. They run a whole bunch of tests on me. They did a CT scan on me, but they missed something. And that was on the CT scan result, it said follow up with an ultrasound, which they did not do that day. So this is on a Saturday. They put me on like really heavy duty antibiotics. They're like, it shows like there's some sort of infection in your body from the blood work, blah, blah. Anyways, so they send me home. And now, so that's Saturday night. Sunday, I'm still not feeling better. I'm actually progressively getting worse. Monday, I'm still worse. And then on Tuesday, my girlfriend, her name is Jamie, she calls me and I can't talk over the phone at all because I've lost my voice. Like I'm like declining quite rapidly. Anyways, fast forward.
How long ago was it?
This is just about 2020.
So crazy. Oh my gosh. So
Yours
like,
is the same?
yeah.
same
Well, I
time?
was hospitalized in 2022, 2020 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So, anyways, she called. She's like, "I'm taking you to the hospital." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna be fine." She's like, "No, we're going to the hospital right now." So she drives. She comes and picks me up. My dad comes to take care of the kids. Steve is at work. All that stuff. She takes me to the hospital. We get there, and when they triage me in, they completely dismissed all my symptoms. So one, I could not breathe through my mouth. Like I could only nasally breathe. So it was blocked in here. And then my resting heart rate, you ready for this? 178 was my resting heart rate. Dismissed it all. I sat waiting for someone to see me for 4 hours.
No.
Yeah. So finally, a physician assistant comes in. She sees me, and then she's like, "What's going on?" And my friend lost her mind on. She's like, "What do you mean? What's going on?" She's like, "She can't breathe." Blah blah. She's like, "Okay, calm down, everything." Like, we need to. So she's like, she's like, "You came into the hospital like this." She opens my chart. She's like, She's like, I'll be back in 2 seconds. She goes, she comes back. They throw me on wheelchair. They wheel me up to imaging. They do an ultrasound, which is the one thing that they missed on the Saturday. And then I come back. They hook me up to IV. They like, all that stuff. And then all these doctors and nurses are out at the nursing station trying to figure out what was wrong with me. They couldn't figure it out. So eventually they're like, okay, we know what's wrong with you. You need to stay here for the night.
Right.
We cannot send you home like this. You're on the verge of a heart attack.
Oh my gosh.
So anyways, I ended up staying, and then it ended up being that it's called viral thyroiditis. So basically like the chances of you winning the lottery is a little bit higher than you getting a viral thyroiditis. Like, yeah, so it was like it attacked my thyroid, it attacked my whole system. And
Yeah.
I went into autoimmune disease mode, and then my body was just shutting down. And so yeah.
Okay, so how did you get better?
So then that's where I got into
This
this right.
Okay.
So get home and I'm on medication. I'm on thyroid medication and I'm on heart medication because they can't regulate my heart rate and my thyroids. The endocrinologist, she's like, I don't know what the damage is at this point, so we just need to wait. You may be on medication for the rest of your life. We can't tell you anything right now. 4 weeks later, I started working again, and one of my clients comes in and she says, I need you to go see my holistic practitioner. I'm trying to get in with her. It's a 3-month wait list. Anyway, she gets me in. I go in and she says, well, I can't tell you to get off your medication because that's not my job. But we're going to get you going on a certain routine of, different herbs and supplements and try to get you off the medication if we can. So that's what we ended up doing. And by the time I went back for my 4-week follow-up with the endocrinologist, she was like, I don't know what you've done, but I'm discharging you as a patient. I'm taking you off all your medication. You're good to go. So that was the start of things for me, where I was like, oh, like I can't do this on my own. I can't feel
like your body can heal.
Exactly. Like
yes,
you cut yourself, you heal. You break your bone, it heals. Like you can heal. Right?
I literally say that all the time. I'm like, if your body was not on your side and if it did not want to heal, like, because sometimes you feel that way when you are in the thick of it, because I've gone through my own like chronic pain, inflammation, traumas where like doctors didn't know what to do. They were like, you're fine, take this pill, XYZ. And I've had times where I truly wondered, like, is my body broken? Is something wrong? Like, did I do something wrong? Right? Because when you're in the thick of it, like, you genuinely do have those thoughts. You're like, can I get better on my own? Or like, am I going to need to be on these drugs, whatever? And so I love that visual of like, your body is fighting for you every second of the day, no matter what you've done, no matter how hard you've been on it, what you ate in the past, what you didn't eat, whatever.
Exactly.
Because like, when you get a paper cut, what happens? Right away. You clot right away. Like, you could be sick and it clots, right? Just to show you. I love that visual, just to show your body's on your side. It wants you here.
So that's great. Really where it all started. And then Tinted Salt was really born from the salt part of it was born from salt rooms. Yes. So during COVID lockdowns, we homeschooled our kids and we used to go to salt rooms because it was fun and it's something to do. And we noticed that the kids were just better behaved. Yeah. And they were just more alert and they were just getting along better between like myself and 4 other families.
And there's not a lot of salt rooms.
No. But there was one close to where we lived in this like tiny town outside of Toronto in Canada. We're just like, so and then eventually I was like, hey Steve, like I kind of want to have a salt room.
I was like,
he's like, sit down, lady. Like you're fine. Like you don't need a salt room right now. I was like, no, I can have a salt room. So that's where
husbands love us.
Yeah, like I don't know.
This was our big idea.
Yeah. So with him, he's like he's the Libra, right? So he's like always on a balance. And I'm
okay,
wait, what
birthday? I'm the Scorpio. We know that. We're the Scorpio. Okay. Wait, Libra. When is that birthday?
No, he's a Libra. Is
I know, but when's his birthday?
Today.
Today's his birthday.
Today's his birthday.
Oh, are you celebrating with me here? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to tell him happy birthday. Wait, so we're in October. So my husband is July 10th. And he is my yin, and I am the yang, for sure. That is so fun. Okay, I love to know that. So you're like, we're gonna do tinted salt. We're gonna do salt room.
Well, I was like, at that point, like, I was still an esthetician and we're still, whatever. So
Yeah.
I was like, I want a salt room, salt room. He's like, okay, he's like, sit down, whatever. But back in 2018, I actually came to Arizona
Yeah.
for my sister's bachelorette.
Yeah.
And that's where Arizona came into life. And then something took over me when I was here. It's almost like I would say to people, like, it was a calling. Like, it was like I was called to be here. And I went back to Canada and I was like, so I'd like to move to Arizona. And this is 2018. He's like, yeah, nuts. It ain't happening. Like he's like
Want to solve
like
it.
what is wrong with you?
I love
Like
that.
we have a great life here, whatever. And I was like, yeah, but we could have a better life somewhere else too. And like I'll anyways.
This
So
is making me so happy to hear because I come to my husband with the most audacious ideas, and I just feel for his nervous system all the time because and I always want to pivot. I'll be like we have a plan for
Yeah.
we'll be going down this route, doing this one plan. It's scheduled, it's booked, and I'll be like, we should change the plan, and my husband's like, that's a lot. That's a lot, and I'm like.
but it's not. But it's not because this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that's what it was.
Yeah.
So and then fast forward, like this is like then it's COVID, and then Canada's in shutdowns and whatnot. And
Major.
anyways, and at one point or another, he just kind of says to me, he's like, "I think I'm ready for this move that you've been." I was like, "All right, let's do it." Put the house up for sale, the renovation.
Yeah. You moved in. You knew this is if we're doing it. This is the time. He mentioned it once. It's the no is a maybe. We're going for it. Yeah.
So that's where he's like, "Well, what are you gonna do there?" And I was like, "Holistic wellness will be like." It's the vortex of the world. It's in Arizona. Like this.
It is actually though.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, I guess we're going for this. And I was like, well, whatever we do, we have to have a salt room. Like that's the number one thing. And then there was other things that we were planning on doing, and it just God had other plans for us. He was like, every avenue we went down, it was a dead end, and we had to turn around when it came to certain things. And then when it came to the harmonic egg, I always say the harmonic egg found us. Actually, we did not find the harmonic egg; it found us, and it changed everything for both of us, for all of us, because my youngest one had this injury. I don't know if I told you. She had this injury in her arm that happened during a basketball game. And afterwards, she's like, every now and then, oh, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. And it had been so long since the injury that we couldn't do x-rays, so we had to do an MRI. The MRI came back negative. She's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. Let's move along. And then, but for a period of almost a year and a half, she complained about that pain on a regular basis. And I just couldn't figure out what it was. But, at one point I said to Steve, I've heard of this harmonic egg thing. Let's see if there is somewhere around here that we can take her and she can maybe do a session. Let's see what happens. Because as someone who does Reiki, I know about what energy work can do. So we took her in. Literally, it was one session with her, and she has not complained about her arm since. And it's been almost 2 years.
So crazy. Okay, I want to dive into that because in your facility, you have different modalities for healing. So walk us through each of those and what they do, because I had never heard of the harmonic egg. I was like, what is
Not
this?
a lot of people have.
Yeah, and it's really fascinating to me. So I want to hear about that.
Okay, so the harmonic egg is this egg-shaped chamber.
Okay.
And it's in a geometric shape. And so it goes back to sacred geometry. So keep that in mind as kind of I explain the rest of it. As a client comes in, they fill out this questionnaire. They let us know what it is that they want to work on. And it can be really anything from emotional, physical, psychological, PTSDs, chronic pain, disease, really the list is endless. We go through a catalog of music that is specifically curated for the harmonic egg. We find the right song with the right frequencies, instruments, notes, tones, what areas of the body it will hit, what kinds of things it will do to the body as it hits it. So we find the right song. Along with that, we use what's called chromotherapy. Chromotherapy is light color therapy. We have 12 different colors to choose from, and one goes at the top of the chamber and one goes at the bottom of the chamber. During a 50-minute session, while you're sitting in this chamber with the doors closed, all that frequency, energy, vibration is bouncing off of those geometrically shaped walls because it's sacred geometry. And what happens in sacred geometry? The center is the vortex, right? your body is the center of you, and your body's pulling all of that in, and your body starts to do what it needs to do to heal.
That is like this is where I think none of us know what any of that means, right? Like it's like I'm learning about it. I know that when I'm working with women, we're like, they don't know about it either. And it's like going back to we are more than just a physical body, right? And I love how like the harmonic egg is demonstrating that you're using geometric, shape
Yeah.
into like bringing together light and sound to the center vortex, which is our cells, our soul, our body.
Yeah.
And we're bringing in light therapy, sound therapy, frequencies. Like I just recently started listening to frequencies. Like you can go on Spotify, you can go on YouTube and like find frequencies, right? You could find a frequency. It's the sound. Like you can probably explain it better than me, but like for like sleep or one for stress or one for whatever, and like it will recalibrate your the cells right in your
Yes.
body based on that in the sound. So do you know? I don't know a lot about frequency.
So the best way I like to describe it to people, because that's how I was told, and like a light just kind of like when I was like, aha, I get it now, right? A vibration, a frequency that an instrument makes can help you heal. So, for example, if somebody came and they had PTSD,
Yeah.
or early signs of dementia, I would look for songs that had the drumming in it. Okay, the vibration that the drum makes, the frequency of that sound helps break down those patterns, brain patterns that cause the PTSD. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to read a quote actually, because then people are like, well, is there any science behind any of this? And
People
it's like,
always
oh my-
wanna
people
know
always
that,
want
I
to know
know.
about science, right?
I
So I just
know.
want to quickly read this one quote, and I didn't want to misquote it. So
Yes.
I was like, I'm going to quote this properly,
No,
right?
I love
So
it.
it's Nikola Tesla.
Okay.
So he doesn't get more scientific than Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
Doesn't, like to me, it's like
Yes.
he's like the top of science for me, right? And he says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Yes.
Okay. So if we can understand that a vibration, because we are vibrational beings, everything about us is a vibration. Every organ has a different vibration. So the liver has the same vibration as the sound that the flute makes.
That's so
Right?
crazy.
So
Oh my-
those kinds of things, if we can understand those, then we can truly heal our bodies,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not saying that, Western medicine is out and we don't. There is a time and place for everything,
Yeah.
right? But if we can be preventative, so that we don't need to get to that point,
Yeah.
then that's where we really need to be honest.
Totally. I actually like so I went to this biohacking conference and Joe Dispenza was there. Do you read any of his
No.
stuff? He's really big on like manifesting mindset work, and he has worked with people to literally heal their body just through thought alone and coherence. So like the thought and the heart and being in coherence together, right? And so he had shared like studies, case studies, testimonies, client transformations. This one I will always remember, and this is why I always come back to reinvesting my time, my money, and my energy into this work. It's because he shared this testimony of a woman who had colon cancer. Her whole colon was removed, and she was just at the pits of her health. Right? She went through his protocols, whatever, which really are just rooted in energy work, manifesting. He uses the light sound therapy, all that. Her body, this is so crazy to me. Her body rebuilt a colon.
Yeah, I
Her,
believe that.
the cells in her body, like she manifested and her body recreated the colon. Like I get goosebumps even re-saying it because it just shows the power of our brain, our thoughts, and how like our body wants to receive this like therapy. So like when I used to never meditate. I like and I want you to share all about the vibroacoustic bed, all that. So when I've gone and done the vibroacoustic bed at your place, I feel that regeneration happening in my body. Like better than any, again, workout, supplement, diet. I lay in that bed and like I could almost cry. I don't know why emotions coming up for me right now, but like I could, like it's so powerful. Like that nervous system regulation, that healing, that sense of peace, that sense of vitality, it's like a freeing feeling, that sense of my body is okay and safe and like like all of it, right? it's so powerful. I mean, it rebuilt that woman's colon.
Yeah.
So like I just share that too to like tell everyone if you are feeling off and stagnant, there's something wrong and you're doing quote all the right things, you have to tap into this work.
Yes.
You have to.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
Okay, quick pause because I need to tell you about something that is literally changing the game for metabolism, energy, detox, and even your immune system. You guys know I don't like to waste my time on gimmicks. And also, after seeing so many clients that are just tired of taking the pills, not knowing if their body's even absorbing it, and transparently trying to help my kids detox from all the toxins, I just needed a different approach. And that's why I created the patch method. These are transdermal supplement patches, which means no pills, no powders, no gut breakdown. Literally just stick it on and let your body absorb exactly what it needs, whether it's detox, metabolism, energy, or like I said, even your immune system. We have a patch for it. It's truly biohacking made simple. And the best part, you actually feel the difference. So if you're ready to level up your health routine, make it so simple, head to thepatchmethod.com, grab your patches. Trust me, you will never look at supplements the same way again.
With the harmonic egg, we do this on the first session. We do what's called an autonomic nervous system reset. So there's a series of songs that are chosen specifically for this, and we play those songs. So it takes your body out of that fight and flight mode and brings you back to your parasympathetic mode. So it is so important for people to understand that if you are constantly drowning in your emotions, in your thoughts, in your pain, in your inflammation, your body just cannot take a deep breath and say, okay, I can't. So just constantly like staying above water. But if we can calm the nervous system down enough so that your body's like, and then your body's like, okay, now that energy, that vibration that's coming at me, I know what to deal with, right? So it's so important. And with the vibroacoustic therapy beds, so those beds have the speakers built into them, and they also have the well curated set of music that we work with that were made specifically for the vibroacoustic beds. And it's the same thing. You lie down on it, and I see this every time because we let people do a little mini like tester on it, just like a couple of minutes, just to like see. The minute they lie down on it and the vibration starts, you see this on every single person. They go right. Even the most skeptical person that has been on there, it's like
I'm obsessed with
it's
I'm
so
actually
good,
obsessed.
right?
I don't even want to get up.
No,
Like I feel
I wish I could be on it all day, but I have to kind of.
I have to exist.
For people like you that come in and just like ruin the day for me.
Now I have to work. No, literally, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Like that, and I've done the harmonic egg. Like that is doing some crazy. And actually, okay, I'm gonna have my Oura Ring data posted on this podcast
okay.
because the first time I came in, so I wear the Oura Ring. It shows like basically when I'm in this a stress state,
Yeah.
an engaged state, a relaxed state, and then a repair state, right? And it is literally impossible to get into the repair restore. Like you have to be pretty much in deep sleep. And the only time I've ever been in the restore repair state during the day is one time when I was at the biohacking conference and I was doing this meditation with light and sound therapy. So
Shocking.
I know, shocking. Usually all day I'm like in this
Yeah.
up. I'm up and up. I'm not ever restoring. I'm not repairing. I'm not regenerating. So anyways, I came and did the vibroacoustic bed. My Aura Ring, I was operating at that engaged stress part of the day, just go. Went and did that. It dropped all the way down to restore and repair. Again, I don't get there unless I'm in deep sleep.
I want to see those.
No, I literally
like
snapshot. So I showed your husband. I was like, "Do you see this?" I went from here, dropped there during that.
We've had another client who did the same thing. So he has a whoop.
Okay.
Right. So it was the same thing for him, but he was in the salt room when it happened. And it's funny because he did not stop talking the entire time that he was in the salt room. So it wasn't like I know. It wasn't like he was in this like deep meditative state. He was in there having a conversation. But because of what happens in the salt room and the fact that, his lungs are able to hold more oxygen and like, we'll go through all of that too. He was like, what? Like, it looks like I'm in complete rest. Like, what is happening? Like, what is going on here? So so we've had a few people with their aura rings, and another client of ours, she is suffering from long COVID, so she's been doing the salt room, and she reported back that she says, I don't know what it is about your salt room, because I've been to other salt rooms and it doesn't happen, but with this salt room, I go into a highest level of oxygen that I have had in a long time. And it only happens when I'm in here, and then up to a few days afterwards. So she just recently got herself a membership, an unlimited membership to our
Love that.
salt room.
And then you have the red light bed, which is different than most red light beds.
So it's different, but it's not different. The only difference is that when we purchased those beds, we had them built specifically for our specific needs. So we said, these 4 nanometer settings, we want these 4. We don't want it to just be just whatever, right? So they were built for us, which is great, because not a lot of places will have the same nanometer settings that we have on ours. And the panels are great, especially like if you go to the gym. They have them at the gyms a lot, and they're set for muscle recovery. It's perfect, right? But it doesn't do the things that ours does. So with ours, we can do skin rejuvenation, which is very skin rejuvenation. We can do muscle recovery. So somebody who works out a lot, they want to excel in their workouts, they do muscle recovery. Then we can go a little bit deeper and hit those injury levels. So injuries, pain, inflammation, post-surgery recovery, that type of thing. Then we can go even deeper, and we get into that infrared light, where it becomes invisible to the human eye, but it's a deeper, faster wavelength of energy, and that hits those neurological wavelengths. So things like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, PTSD, anxiety, depression, brain fog, ADHD, and autism, sort of like head injuries, concussions. It hits all of those things. Now, what we are noticing from our experience with our clients, people that are choosing to do the red light therapy and then go into the vibroacoustic bed and then go straight into the salt room, the results are blowing our minds.
I'm sure.
Crazy. It is insane. Like, we know it works.
Totally.
It's crazy.
No, and I love to, like, the red light is so important. It's how I describe it is it's sending ATP energy into your cells, right? So like our cells, we have the mitochondria, that's the battery of your cell. That's what helps you think clear. That's what keeps you motivated. That helps you have the energy to digest food, to heal your body. Like, you have to have your cell phone battery charged, just like you have to have the mitochondria in your cells to be fully charged, right? And the red light, the mechanism of that is literally sending ATP energy into there. But what most people miss is that you have to be within 6 inches.
That's right.
In order to penetrate into the cells of that red light. So what I love about the bed is it's coming at the front and the back, and you're in there, that proximity.
Lying down exactly.
So you're getting, is getting
Thank you
full
for
body.
for me.
It's so important, because I didn't know that either for a while, and I'd have a red light floating in my house somewhere, and I'm like, this isn't, well, actually, you know what it was, is in my sauna. So we have a red light in the sauna, and I was like, oh yeah, I do it every day. Then I realized the sauna red light is like 3 feet from my body. Like, I don't think it's doing anything.
It's doing a little, but not to the point where you're getting the
crazy transformation.
So with the red light, you're right. It needs to be about 6 inches to your body. And that's why when you see a lot of estheticians using those masks, they put them so close. Like, there's one in particular, it's called the Saluma mask. And those ones, it's like a round dome, and then they just put it right over your face, and you almost feel like you're choking. So because it needs to be that close to your body for it to actually do what it needs to do. It is a wavelength of energy. It is an energy field that's moving in and going in. So if it's like this far, it only goes so far. It doesn't hit your body, right? So yes, that absolutely. We love the red light therapy. I've been actually using it for myself for my brain fog, and yes, I have brain fog.
Well, starting a business. I just I just went to your grand opening, and all I kept thinking about is the invisible energy that goes into, that most people don't see. that goes into starting a business. Like it is a lot, and you wear it's the planning. I mean, I could just go on. I think that I have a heart for entrepreneurs because growing up, my parents they started a restaurant. They were always entrepreneurial in spirit, and I witnessed as a young child like what it takes to start a business and to keep it going and keep it successful. All the trials, all the fails, all the learning curves, all of it. I mean, I was in that restaurant folding silverware. I was seeing the pains, the growing pains, the all of it. And now, and like, I was thinking of your daughters who were there supporting you. And I am like, they are learning so much from witnessing their mom and dad be brave, take a leap of faith, put their heart and soul and hard work into that. And you've integrated them into it, which I want to talk about their adorable bracelets. Like you are not only teaching them through words, but you're modeling it through action. And I know they're learning so much just from being a part of it and witnessing that it's totally transforming who they're going to become truly in this world more than what any school could ever teach them. And I just so see that in like your dynamic, and I love being able to watch that. But okay, really quick side note: your daughters and their adorable bracelets. So these are the cutest bracelets. So I don't like idolize crystals by any means, but I'm a very energetic person. I'm very in touch with feelings, emotions, and energy. Like I could sense if someone was suffering from across the room. Like even my husband, like I could tell if he's had a bad day. I could tell if anything is off, and I always tell him, "You can't hide this, babe. Like I could sniff this out of anybody. Like it's a blessing and a curse. I've had to learn like being so empathetic, like such an empath to like not take on people's emotions, but let it be a blessing and whatnot. But I do love the energy that crystals bring. So I came to you with my husband on a date night, which also great date night idea. Go to Tinted Salt. Actually had a really good friend of mine when I commented or posted we were there. They were like, "Oh my gosh, great date night idea! Like you and instead of just going to dinner with drinks, like go to Tinted Salt, rejuvenate, all the great things." So, anyways, I was like, "Wait, tell me about these crystals." So your daughters are making these to fundraise for a trip, but tell me about like the meaning of these. I just love it.
So every crystal has a different meaning. So the ones that you have the selenite. I refer to that as the mother stone. It actually recharges all the other stones, right? And then the other one that you have is a tiger's eye, and that one is to keep you protected
from like that energy,
that
right?
energy,
And people, Wi-Fi, EMF, all of the
all
the junk,
all the stuff. And then this one is citrine. So the citrine is November birthstone. So you have to have that.
Love that.
That one I remembered what it was, but
It was like, I remember it because I felt so called to it. It was like something like
clarity,
but also like owning your authenticity and like your passion and like who you are and things. Yeah.
And that's such a Scorpio thing though.
Yeah.
It's like
totally.
So
I love
the stones all have an energy. Everything is energy. Everything is energy, right? So with the different energies, you're healing your body as well. So it's not idolizing them. It's using what God created in this world for us to use to be able to heal ourselves.
Yes.
And I always go back to that. Like I'm a big believer that everything that is created here for us is for humanity to use. And one of the things, like we touched on this before we started the podcast, one of the things that I always say to my kids and to everyone is that the powers that be want us to believe that we're nothing.
Yeah.
That they have really dumbed down humanity in so many ways, but they want you to think that you're just like this speck of dust in this universe that just floats around and you're nothing. But you are the speck of dust that holds the universe together. Like if everybody thought they were just a speck of dust and they were nothing, the universe would just fall apart.
Yeah.
Our world would fall apart, right? So I don't know. I feel like God created humanity. He created everything around us so that we can have everything we need to heal. We don't need all the chemicals in our lives. I mean, that's just smart.
No, 100%.
That's
I
just-
actually, what I like to tell people is the closer you can get to how God designed us, that world that He designed us in, that's where your body will heal, right? So think like even like paleo diet, eating seasonally, right? Like orange,
Seasonally.
yeah, like think of when oranges are most like growing, right? It's in the winter. Why? Vitamin C, because our immune system needs vitamin C. God was so artistic and intentional with what fruits and foods and herbs were blooming at certain times of year and how far removed we are from that world, right? We are eating the same foods, the same macros every day that are processed in a bag with certain, like the label is like, da, da, da. And it's like, you want to heal? Let's go back to ancestrally where we were designed.
Yes.
So that's diet, that's foraging, that's fasting. We were fasting for our foods. We were cooking, we were hunting our food, cooking our food, eating our food, and then we were fasting. We weren't snacking on all the chips and salsa and the hummus. Like it doesn't matter how old it is. We were not snacking and grazing all day. We were not going 100 miles per hour all day. We were connecting. We were connecting. We were talking. We were creating. We were problem solving with like, okay, we need a fire. Let's find wood. Let's do this. Let's create a tent. It's raining. Let's build shelter. How are we going to do that? We were problem solving, right? And we were in the earth. We were grounding. We weren't wearing shoes. We weren't with artificial, like I could go on and on and on. Anyways, I say all that to say, we are meant to be in alignment of this energy and this spirit in these different modalities. And one thing I love about being in today's world is that we have these modalities because we didn't have them maybe like 20, 30 years ago, but we need to be intentional about using them. We cannot just live on autopilot and just think, oh, I'm just going to wake up and go and feel great. You're not. Not anymore. Not with the toxins and the chemicals, not all the junk in this world, the stress we have, X, Y, and Z. It could go on. We need to be intentional, set intention, and we need to invest the time and energy into healing. So I want to kind of wrap up with just asking you a couple questions.
Sure.
What would you encourage? And it could be like a client testimonial of yours, a client, or just like your heart. Like, what would you encourage somebody? Let's say that I met or you met that is just struggling and has tried everything and they are just tapped out. Like, what would you encourage them to do? Where could they start?
So I can just go by our clients' experiences. So we had, just when we had first opened up, we had a client come in, a young girl, just shy of 20, and severe anxiety, debilitating anxiety. Her mom says, you know what, you need to come in here, you need to do this. They came to us with a friend's referral. So they come in, we get her onto the red light therapy bed, we get her onto the vibroacoustic bed, and we put her in the session. That was session 1. Her anxiety dropped from a 7, 8 down to a 3 in one session.
I believe it.
So then she came back. And she did 5 sessions of the harmonic egg back to back, 1 a week for 5 weeks. And by the time she was done, she had 0 anxiety. She had no worries in the world. She was actually able to pack her bags and go away to university. So that was like one of the things where we were just like, okay, like we know it works.
Yeah.
Like that's why we brought it here. But then to see it in action, we're just like awed by that. Like, oh my gosh, this actually happened, right? So I would say give energy work a try. Give it a go, because what happens in our bodies as trauma enters our bodies, there is blockages of that trauma, and we need to release those. And what is the best way to release them? Is through energy, through frequency, through vibration,
I love that.
and light. So,
And we all have trauma.
yeah,
Like we have little big trauma, all of it, uncontrollable. And sometimes we don't even know the layers of it.
Yeah.
And that could be the stuff that's keeping us stuck. And I love that you just mentioned that, because trauma is released through energy works. So that is so powerful.
Yeah. So I think that was the big one. And then we had another client. She had this shoulder pain for God knows how long. She came in, she sat in the egg. 1 session, her pain went from a 6 to a 2 in 1 session. So does it work? Yes, it works. And also like Steve's testimony, I think did he ever tell you about his testimony? Okay. So he had this like trigger finger thing happening. It was like 3 months of just so much pain. He wasn't even able to pick up anything anymore. That's how bad it got.
Yeah.
And he tried a few different things, physical therapy and acupuncture and all that. And it would go away for a day or two, and then it would be back again. So we said, Tyler tried the egg. Let's try the egg. So he tried the egg. He did first session, his pain dropped a bit, and then it lasted a couple of days and he came back again. Second session, it dropped even further, and then it lasted a bit longer. And then third session, it dropped down to the point where he was like able to like move and whatever. And then he was like, well, I'm not going to wait now. I'm just going to continue doing. So he did maintenance sessions after that. So it works. It works and it's great. And it's non-invasive. It is all through energy, sound, light, and vibration. So with the egg, you're getting sound, light, and the vibration happens on a cellular level. But for those that are a little bit skeptical, the vibroacoustic bed is a physical vibration.
I love it.
So you feel it physically,
Yeah.
and you're getting sound and vibration for people physical and on a cellular level.
No,
So
I think
you can't like go wrong.
100%. I actually say, like, everyone once a week should be scheduling in some meditation and like that cellular reset and
Yes.
work. Absolutely. And I've gotten really good at doing that too. I find by like Wednesday, Thursday, if I'm not intentionally plugging this in, scheduling it and going, then like I feel it by Friday. That's when you feel that burnout and like you just can't do that anymore. Like be intentional, set this
Yes.
up. So important. So okay, my last question to you is I love talking to people about like what does your most optimized self look like, right? And this could be like for some people it's like a certain goal they're working towards with like their body, or it could be a mindset thing, or it could be there's all these different ways, modalities to like be your most optimized self. But I love this question because I just we know that this is the only life we have to live, right? There's no dress rehearsal. Like
Nope.
this today is it. We don't know when our last day is going to be. And my passion in the work that I do is to help people step into their highest self, their most optimized self, because when you do, you get to experience the fullness that each day has, right? And if you're not experiencing that, your most optimized self, all the things, then you're not experiencing all that life has to offer. And it's so important to me for people to live and step in that vitality. So I'd love to know for you, what does like your most optimized self look like? Like what does it feel like? Like what are you doing to live and step into that?
So for me, is making sure that that brain fog of mine is under control. So I'm doing my red light therapy. I do the vibroacoustic therapy, and I go and sit in the salt room whenever I can.
Yeah.
But in general, just eating super clean and super healthy, eating whole foods, organic foods. We cook all of our meals at home. We rarely ever eat out, maybe like once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Birthday,
Yeah.
maybe my anniversary we skipped this year too, or like we just want to eat as clean as possible just so that you're nourishing your body. So for me, nourishing my body with whole foods and doing my 9-day medical medium cleanse every 3 months. Every 3-4 months
I've read some of his stuff. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I love
So
that.
we do that, and for me, I think that's where I feel I'm at my best after doing the cleanse and knowing that my body is now replenished with all the nutrients that it needs to move forward.
I love that. That's so fun. Okay, so tell us, for women or people who are listening to this, like where could they find you on Instagram, on your website, location? Like spill the details, and then we'll make sure like the show notes, everything's there so people know where to plug in.
So it's tintedsalt.com. That's the website. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok.
You're on it. I love it.
We're on
You're better than me. Okay, I just downloaded TikTok. I have never gone into TikTok. It feels like another universe.
I
But
know, me too.
I just downloaded it.
We need to experiment on that together.
I was like, oh, this is gonna go viral, and I like posted it. 3 people have seen it. 3 people. I'm like, I literally called my friend. Like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong on TikTok? Because this was supposed to be the post.
I know, I don't know how to do it either, but I'm going to work on that. We do have a great media company, Blue Zone.
Are they doing your social
Blue
media?
Zone, they're doing everything for us right now.
It's hard to do it all. Sometimes we need to like tap into
we need to like leave that
Other
to them. Let them do what they know how to do best, and I'm going to do what I know how to do best.
Good for you for allowing that delegation to happen, because I struggle with the delegating, because I'll be like, oh, I can do this. I'll just do that. I'll just do this. all and I'm like, no. Stay in your lane of genius. I love that. I'm so glad that you came today. This was so fun. Your energy is so contagious, and it might be the Scorpio, but I'm like, I could hang out.
No,
with
it's
you
like
literally
it's the
all night
Scorpio
long.
thing, girl.
Yeah.
It definitely.
And
It's
you're,
like
you're,
100%.
you're doing so great. Like just seeing the support that came from your grand opening, I was like,
The grand opening was pretty successful. We do have a couple of things that are coming up. That
Ooh, yeah,
So
sure.
we have in our salt room, we're going to be offering breathwork classes. So they are 9D breath work. So it's a different type of breath work. So if you don't know what 9D breath work is, look it up. We will have that happening this month. We have one session coming up this month, and then we'll add more to it for the following month. And then we have a sound bath and meditation class in there, and both of those are specialty classes that include a session of self-therapy included with what you're getting. So
are you going to be doing
those
that like
are in our
reoccurring, like or just like?
So we will be doing a reoccurring. This month is a test run to see how things go with that, but the breath work will be offered in series moving forward, because really breath work is something that you need to do regularly in order for you to get that optimal result that you want out of it. So that, and then with our sound baths, this month's sound bath is with Christy.
I'm
Rodrigo. Yeah,
serious.
she's so good.
No,
So
I
with
like
her.
sound bath to me is like your vibroacoustic bed. Like there is something that I'm like, wow.
And she is, I don't know if you've ever done a class with her. I
No.
have one with her, and she's great. So we're going to do one with her, and hers is a meditation into a sound bath. And then we'll have another one for the month of November.
Oh my gosh.
And that one is with Serena, and that one is a breath work into a sound bath.
I love it.
So, yeah. And those are all available on our website, on our events page.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Yay. Okay, so fun. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Thanks
I'm like
This
way
is
pumped.
amazing.
I'm excited for
Thank
this to be
you.
like released.
That's it for today's episode of the Biohack Method. If this lit something up in you, do me a favor, share it, tag me at Lindsay Burwell Wellness, and drop a review. Ready to dive deeper? Head to the show notes for peptides, patches, and programs that are changing the game for high-performing women like you.